Okay, good morning. Assalamualaikum. Today is a week 9. Today is a week 9. So we are going to the chapter 4. Okay, I know that today we have a tutorial, but I'm not doing the tutorial, the real tutorial. I just want to summary. I just want to make some questions and summary. Uh, just a just a surface for the first chapters of the chapter 4. Okay, because chapter 4 there's a 1 2 3 4 parts. Okay, if you look on the democracy and political development in Malaysia, okay, if you look on the chapters, is a democracy and political development in Malaysia. So the first thing that you must ask is, what is a democracy? What is a democracy? Okay, does Malaysia have a democracy? Is it suitable democracy for Malaysia? What's a parliamentary democracy in Malaysia? Who introduced parliamentary democracy? What type of government system that Malaysia have? And then, this is my question for you. This is my question for you. How about democracy in Malaysia in the actual roadmap? In actual roadmap from 1940. Remember 1948 until now. How about the roadmap? Okay, how about the change? How about democracy change in Malaysia? Is it democracy have so many change, or democracy just not changes from the past until now? Okay, these are my questions in your tutorials. So you must know how to answer it. Okay, if you look on here, if you look on here, okay, Malaysia is the federal representative democratic constitutional monarchy. Remember, federal representative democratic constitutional monarchy. Is it Malaysia is fully democratic country? So you must know that. And then Malaysia had multi-party system, direct elections for the Federal Legislative Council of Malaysia. And Malaysia also using the first past the post. That means that when the person win a seat, that means that the party have one seat in the federal legislative. We are not on the percentage of popularity. Okay, and then you must know that. Okay, how many parties in Malaysia? How many party in Malaysia? This is my question for you. And then, how about the scholar views on Malaysian democracy? Okay, is it Malaysia has a chance for real democracy? Is it Malaysia have a chance for real democracy? The real democracy? Okay, so this is my question for you. So you must how to answer it. So you must ask, why Malaysia should have democracy? Why should have? I don't say that Malaysia democracy is suitable for Malaysia. I don't say that democracy is suitable for Malaysia. I say why democracy should have in Malaysia. There's the two things that you should understand. Okay, is it Malaysia fit for democracy? And then my another question, why democracy should have in Malaysia? Okay, if you look on the answers, democracy offer accountable and legitimate governments, improve the quality of decision making, provides a method to deal with difference and conflicts, allow people to correct their own mistake, promote equality among citizens, enhance the dignity of the citizens. There's so many points why democracy should have in Malaysia. Because Malaysia is a multi-racial. Malaysia also is a country where I say that the conflicts between ethnic. Because you already read, you already understand the chapter 2, chapter 2 regarding our society. Malaysian society is divided, it's a conflict of the society. So how the method to deal, is it democracy? Okay. So when ask you question in tutorial, when you answer it, this is the things that you should understand. Okay, you should understand. You must answer for yourself. Okay, find for your answers, and then you will learn from it. Okay. Okay. In the deep sex premise is not successful in explaining why democracy is not going well in countries such as Malaysia. Because you must look at Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore. See that? Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Singapore. These are the 4 countries we say that democracy. But the democracy in these 4 countries is very different. It's totally different. Okay. So Malaysia is not democracy in Malaysia is not same like democracy in Thailand. Democracy in Malaysia also is not same as Indonesia or Singapore. So when you say about democracy, is it your democracy? Okay. Despite of this country enjoy a good education system and decent economic growth of the past 5 decades, their democracy is not considered as a good. See that? Democracy is not considered as a good. Whether the government change or not, it's most the same. You say that when National Alliance, okay, Barisan National Front now, National Alliance Perikatan Nasional, National Front, Barisan National Front. Barisan Nasional is a National Front, and then Pakatan Harapan is a Hope Alliance, and then Perikatan Nasional Alliance also, Perikatan Nasional, same like the Parti Perikatan. Okay, the government changed from National Front to Hope Alliance, Pakatan Harapan. Is it when the changes ke government, is it democracy is very improved? No anymore. Because the government still using the SOSMA. SOSMA is from the ISA, Internal Security Act. And then there's a fake news. And then the government have a authoritarians. I don't say that the government is not improved in democracy. Sometimes they misuse the power for certain things. Like Pakatan Harapan from 2018 for 22 months. Okay. How about the Adib case? A lot. How about the we say that people freedom of the speech, freedom to say something is not good about their leaders. Is it we have the freedom to say? Because sometimes when you say something is not good or something is the bad to your leaders, we can be sued in the court. And then these situations made the study of democracy in Malaysia more interesting to study. Do you know why? Okay, I'll give you the examples. In Western country, okay, the peoples are free to criticize to say anything to their leaders. And then their leaders cannot sue their peoples because of freedom of the speech. In Malaysia, if you're saying something very badly to your leaders, you'll be sued. Either you are in the PH government, or you are in the BN government, or you are PN government, almost the same. That means that democracy in Malaysia is very interesting you to study, and interesting to you to understand. Okay? And then you must understand, okay? Our democracy is a semi-democracy or quasi-democracy or soft authoritarianism. You know, soft authoritarian. That means that the government still have the power. The peoples almost have certain aspect powers. That means that the powers of the things that you must think, the powers of freedom of the speech, freedom of to say, freedom of everything is almost divided between the ruler and the people. The people have only a certain aspect, but mostly the government is overload the people. So this is a semi-democracy or quasi-democracy. Why Malaysia we say they have a democracy? Because we have a direct elections. When I came into the elections to choose the leaders, in that time there is a democracy. We have the freedom to choose the best leader for our country. But in other time, we don't have a freedom to do things. Okay? And then you must understand, nowadays the NGO was taken by the netizens. The netizens can push up the government to make a decisions in certain policy. It's not NGO. Before that, it's NGO, but because of social medias nowadays, so the netizens have the power. The netizens have the powers. So that means that if you want one person to say, it's not safe. Lakhs, thousands, lakhs, hundred thousands, millions people to say in one issue, push the government. That means that the people powers from netizens. See that? So our government is very responsive. Yes, responsive, but they also have a repressive. Repressive, that means that certain law, so small, and then fake news, and then they can sue, and then there's also have a certain of the words you cannot say. Be careful, okay? But we are very lucky. You know, we are very lucky. You know why we are very lucky? We are not North Koreans. If you stay in the North Korea, you will know that. There's a totally difference from us. Okay? And then you must understand that in Malaysia, the democracy was divided in 5 stages. 5 stages? No. Today is in 6 stage. 6 stage. The first stage is a constitutional power sharing arrangements. 1957 to 1969. That means that a moderate constitutional power sharing. Constitutional. And then going after the 30 May, no? The 13 May, 13 May, the 30th May of the 1969, we already become the authoritarian governments. Okay, so in 1969 until 1987, 69 until 87, we call it authoritarian Malay dominance. Authoritarian Malay dominance. After 1987, Mahatherisms. You know Mahatherisms? What is a Mahatherisms? Do you know what's the Mahatherisms? Mahatherism stands for 5 things. 5. Capitalisms, Islamisms, nationalisms, authoritarianisms, populisms. These are Mahatherisms. 5. Remember? Nationalisms, Islamisms, nationalisms, Islamisms, populisms, authoritarianisms, capitalisms. Okay? Capitalisms. These are the 5 things that we call it Mahatherisms. Kubuntek. Okay? Kubuntek. And then Mahatherisms is a repressive responsive and exmission of the regime maintenance. Authoritarians. A very authoritarians. Okay? 1987 until 1998. You know until 1998? 87 until 1988. What happened in 1987? What happened in 1987? The crisis of UMNO. The new UMNO. No, the new UMNO. Team A, Team B. Team A is a Tun Dr. Mahathir. Team B is a Tunku Lazari. They are fighting, and then if a certain things happen, Team B, Tunku Lazari, lost in the UMNO elections. And then what happened? Tunku Lazari bring the case to the court, and then Tun Saleh Abbas, the crisis of Tun Saleh Abbas. The crisis of Tun Saleh Abbas. After that, what happened? Mahathir established a new UMNO. And then what happened next? Tunku Lazari established Semangat 46. And then Semangat 46 was joining with the PAS, Angkatan Perpaduan Ummah, with the Berjasa. Remember 1990? And then DAP just give the support, because DAP also opponent party, just give support. And then what happened next? After 1990? After 1990, what happened next? Semangat 46 was demolished. Until 1935, Tunku Lazari was come back to the UMNOs. Okay? So starting from 1987, because 1987, when new UMNO was established, Mahathir has fully control of the UMNO, new UMNO. Mahathir is very powerful influence into the new UMNO. Okay? Get me or not? And then, what happened to 1998? What happened to 1998? 1998, what happened? With the crisis of 1997, financial crisis, George Soros, our liquidations of money is very shortage, and then our economy, boom, down. And then what happened? Anwar Ibrahim. Anwar Ibrahim was being terminated as the Deputy Prime Minister, and then Anwar Ibrahim starting the reformasi, chanting of the reformasi with the Parti Keadilan Nasional, National Justice Party. And then from that on is the rise of new politics. Rise of new politics. Why? Because new politics have the 5 things also: integrity, democratizations, human rights, Remember? Integrity, democratizations, human rights. Number 4, equal rights, Malaysian for Malaysia. Number 5 is the tribalisms. It's Malaysia tribalisms. And then what happened? The regime changed. The regime changed on 2018. National France from the Najib leadership was losing in the 2018 elections, and then Pakatan Harapan Hope Alliance taken, and we call it Malaysia Baru, New Malaysia. Whatever they said, New Malaysia, but the system almost the same. Nothing changed. And then on the 25 February 2020, Tun Dr. Mahathir resigned, and then the New Malaysia collapsed. And then that's we call it Perikatan Nasional, led by the Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, taken over. What happened next? We are going back to the Bumiputra dominance. But we still new. We don't know is it authoritarian or not. But I say, mostly I say that democracy almost the same. Nothing changed in our governments. This is the 5 stage. Okay, this is the 5 stage. Okay, so we're going back the first stage one. Moderate constitutional power sharing agreements. You might understand moderate constitutional power sharing arrangements. Why I say that power sharing arrangements? There's agreements, power sharing arrangements or agreements. Okay, do you know that before we are independence, there's a agreement. There's agreement regarding the power sharing arrangements between MCA, MIC, and UMNO. See that? So you must ask, why UMNO must agree to the power sharing arrangements? Is it Malay is a very weak conditions when we are independence, or Malay is just not majority in our country? Okay, let me say, from 1930s, 1930s, the non-Malay is over than Malays. See that? Especially Chinese. Chinese almost have 40%. Indians have 10%. That means that mostly 50%. 50% over the 50%. In Malaya, in 1930s, more than Malay. Malay just have 48%, and then 2% is Aborigines, or asli, or asal, in 1930s. And then coming Second World War. After end of the Second World War, the Chinese down a little bit. Then so the number is just 46%, and then the Malays 47%, and then we have also have Aborigines and others. So end of the World War II, this is the populations. This is the populations percentage. And then when our countries, Malaya, independence, in our country when independence, okay, when you are in independence, okay, you must not surprised to say that, okay, you must not surprised to say that Malay just 45% when you are independence. When we are independence, Malay have just 45%. Surprised, see? Very surprised. And then the Chinese is the 44%. 44%, 45, 39%. So India's just 1%, maybe 1%. So what happened to Indians? Why the Indians are very drastically reduced? Because mostly Indians going back to India, because India in that time was independence, and then India also have a crisis, so mostly they're going back and then they're turning back again to Malaya. When we are independence, so there still what happened next is it what happened in 1960, in 1960, when the Darurat was ended. Okay, when the Darurat was ended, the Chinese dropped against. But when the Chinese dropped maybe in 38 or 39%, and then the Indians rise, the Indian population rise, because they are coming back. Some of the Indians are coming back from India to Malaya because of crisis, the war between the India and Pakistan. Pakistan, East Pakistan, West, and then the India have some problem in India. So we are in the say that agreement on power sharing arrangement. That means that we are agree indirectly say that UMNO in politics, MCA economy, MIC in professional job. Okay, MIC in professional job, because mostly Indians was English educated. They are coming back to Malaya to serve to Malaya in that times, because in that times British wants more people to help the British against communisms. Because of communisms, you must understand that because of communisms, insurgents of communisms in Malaya, okay, mostly 20 to 30% of the Chinese in Malaya was going back to China. And then what happened is certain aspect of the Chinese from the China and Taiwan are coming to Malaya because they are pro-democracy. Okay, and then the differences between the ethnic groups were preserved, and the trade chose to be representative through edicts of the ethnic community. So we are mostly on the ethnic politics. We are still ethnic politics until now. You know why? Okay, the Malay will support UMNO PAS or Malay parties. Chinese will support MCA, DAP or Gerakan. Indian will support MIC or DAP. So you must understand, when you put a PAS representative in the Penang, especially in the Tanjung, you will lose, because the Chinese won't support the PAS. Also, when you put the DAP, you put the DAP representative in Tanah Merah, or you put the DAP representative in Machang, also be lost, because the Malay won't support the DAP or won't support the MCA. So you must understand, Malaysia is still on political ethnic base, and because of political ethnic base, so this we call it the regime maintenance. You must understand what is a regime maintenance. Regime maintenance, that means that we are bargaining among the internet ethnic elite, okay, power sharing corporations. That means that the elites of each of the ethnic, okay, they are cooperate and bargaining in certain issue, how to divide the power, how to divide the wealth of these countries. Okay, so you must get me that sometimes we see that Malaysia is a very smoothly in the say that politics since our independence until 2018, because there's a bargaining and cooperations among the elite of each ethnic to settle down. And then after the new Malaysia coming, the new Malaysia want to change everything. When you want to change everything, so there's a chaos, and there's something that you must understand. Malaysia was not fully ready to change from political ethnic base to the multicultural politics base. Okay, get me? Okay, because our concept still on the political ethnic base. So this is what happens in 1957 until 1969. Do you know why? Because 1957 to 1969 is a Tunku Abdul Rahman's become Prime Minister. And then 30th May. The 30th May happens because of the certain aspect. You must see that communisms first. And then the conspiracy among the political elites in UMNOs. And then the third one is the rejections of non-Malay to the non-Malay politics party, MCA, the rejection of Malay peoples to the UMNO, and then the rise of the past. These are the things that you should ask yourself. These are the things that why 30 May happens. Kenapa 13 Mei berlaku? Is it 30 May happen suddenly? No. There's a lot of issue. You should ask yourself. You should find yourself. Okay? Why? What? And how? This issue. Okay? I don't want to talk it. I don't want to explain more it. Okay? And now you must understand that the motive for constitutional power sharing, that means that you must understand the presence of perceived external pressure or threats. That means that you must understand the pressure from British was pressure Tunku Abdul Rahman to establish inter-ethnic cooperations as the conditions for independence. You must understand, British already put the conditions. You want to independence, you must get all the race in one society. These are the conditions for the British. The second condition of British is what? The royal powers transfer to the peoples. Because of that, we have a social contracts. And then the threat of Indonesian confrontations. And then the threat also came in from Philippines. You understand that Indonesia under the Sukarno, Bangkano. Sukarno, he want to unite. Sukarno want to unite the Malaya with the Indonesia, become the Indonesia Raya. Indonesia Raya is the greatest of the Indonesia. That means that Indonesia want to include Malaya into the Indonesia. And then you may understand that one of the things that 1963 Sabah and Sarawak. Okay, Sabah and Sarawak. Why Sabah and Sarawak must bring in together with Malaya to establish Malaysia? Why? Why the reasons that Sabah Sarawak need to be bring in to the Malaysia? And then what the reasons Singapore have to leave Malaysia? Because Sabah and Sarawak, when bringing into Malaysia, the Malay later on was known as the Bumiputra. The Bumiputra was suddenly increased drastically. And then when the Singapore left the Malaysia, the Chinese populations was decreased very much. Okay, decreased very much. Do you know why? because from the 40% decrease until to the 30% when Sabah Sarawak bring in and Singapore left the Malaysia. Okay, and then you must understand that why we need the power sharings, why Tunku Abdul Rahman need power sharings, because unstable political hegemony and weak economic positions. Okay, MCA, you must understand that MCA was established from Tan Cheng Lock. You must know that what is the background of the Tan Cheng Lock and his gangs, the gang of the Tan Cheng Lock. I don't say that. I say that the gang, kawan-kawan dia, sekutu-sekutu dia yang membentuk MCA, because MCA have a financial power. MCA have a financial power. UMNO have a voting power, because UMNO is very influenced among Malays. And then the long-term political considerations, more substantial political power of Malay derive from their numerical superiority. From their numerical superiority. You understand why UMNO is a very most powerful influence among Malay, because you understand mostly the Malay leaders is from the golongan bangsawan, the novel, the elites. Okay, Tunku Abdul Rahman is the anak bangsawan, and then Tun Abdul Razak anak bangsawan juga, and then Tun Hussein On anak bangsawan. Dato' Sri Najib Razak also anak bangsawan. So Tun Abdullah and Tun Dr. M is the people, rakyat biasa. And Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin is a golongan rakyat biasa juga. Okay. And then for the Chinese, you understand that political power necessary for ensuring their strong economic positions. This is the Chinese. They want to secure their economic positions, so they are negotiate with UMNO. Why they negotiate UMNO? UMNO doesn't have money, so UMNO need money. UMNO need the business. So MCA give the money, give the business, and then sharing. Yes, we are sharing. We need the MCA need the security of the economic positions, so they get the political security from UMNO. UMNO doesn't have money, very weak economic positions. UMNO need money, because the money will develop the influence will develop the power. So UMNO is the MCA, so they are sharing. So they are sharing and they are bargaining and they are negotiating certain issue that we are know that we are don't know what anything that they are bargaining, but the things is very smoothly. And then you must understand that because of this we successfully survive the challenge from multi-racialisms. Okay, and then we are also successful outbending on ethnic issue. But when coming of the elections 1969, there's a certain thing aspect already explained to you, making the Tunku very weak. Tunku very weak, and until the Tunku stepped down as the Prime Minister, and then Tun Abdul Razak taken over. When Tun Abdul Razak taken over, Tun Abdul Razak do the drastic state interventions, improve their material well-being, especially among the Malays, through the new economy policy. Okay, so you must understand. Okay, what the most thing that you must understand that the 30th May 1969 racial riot. Is it racial riot? Is it a racial riot? Usuhan kaum. Betul ke 13 Mei 1999 adalah usuhan kaum? So these are the things that I would like to ask you before I finish my tutorial. And then tomorrow we are starting on the our lecturing. Assalamualaikum. Terima kasih.